What's up, guys? So, I want to preface this by saying that I am not a racist. I don't practice racism, don't believe in racism. I do believe in karma, right? I do believe in karma, and I do believe in, as biblically, you reap what you sow. And so, I want to talk about the riots, the LA riots, right? And the different riots and the protests going on around the United States, you know. And I take this personal because I got a dog in this fight, right? I got an axe to grind. And if people know me, they probably know what I'm about to say, and they know what I'm talking about when I say that. So, you know, this whole situation with these, you know, Hispanics and the Latins and the different groups, but mainly those groups, right? They going off on people, right? Because they enforcing the law as is on the books, and they don't want them to do that. And so you got a lot of people upset, they rioting and whatnot. And let me just say, this is what I've been waiting for like almost 30 years. I've been waiting for this, right? Because a lot of people, they want to be white, I guess you could say, I don't know, white adjacent. And, you know, these people, they'll call you the N-word when they get mad, right? A lot of, they've done a lot, like the Mexicans have firebombed blacks to get them out of places in California. When they get their numbers up, right, they like to go at you. They'll come in like everything cool, or at first, and then when something happens and they get leverage, they think they got some leverage on you, then they go for your head, right? They try to take your head off. And so that's just how they operate. And everybody knows that Hispanics, Latin, whatever you want to call them, they operate under, you know, racial caste systems in their countries. Whether it's Puerto Rico, whether it's Dominican Republic, whether it's Mexico, Colombia, whatever, right? Everybody knows this, right? And in Brazil, and in some cases, it's been worse than the United States in a lot of cases, right? Like in Argentina, for example, where they obliterated and annihilated the black population, wiped them, right? At least in America, we were able to maintain at a certain level. Right? So, but anyway, fast forward now, you know, you see what's going on in Cali and, you know, in Chicago and different places where they got their numbers up. And you're gonna see it in other places too. But for me, let me just get to the point. For me, I ain't got a dog in this fight. I ain't protesting for nobody. This is karma, right? For what these people personally done to me in some cases. And people in if you're in my family, you probably hear this, you know what I'm talking about. Right? I'm like James Brown. I believe in a big payback. And this is just a big payback in a lot of cases for black people who've been watching these people like me, who've been watching these people for years do a lot of fucked up stuff and have personally been victims of a lot of their fucked up, you know, I ain't no victim like that, but been in a roundabout way been victims of their bad behavior and their racism and their anti-black racism. So, you know, as far as what's happening now, this is just karma, right? Like, for instance, I was talking to this Mexican chick one time, and she said black people always see racism where it do not exist. I said, oh, really? Okay. They just say a lot of wild shit and do a lot of wild shit. And so a lot of times you can't explain shit to people because they ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times you can't explain shit to people. Like I got people like that in my family. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't sit down and debate people and try to educate people or whatever. Give them a book to read. They're not going to read that book. Trust me, I know. I write books. They're not going to read it. They're not going to read the books. They're not going to take heed. None of that. They're not going to hear what you're saying, right? They're not going to have no empathy with you, sympathy for you. They might pretend that they do, and then they're going to stab you in the back. And so what's happening now is just karma for these people, man. A lot of people say, I don't believe in karma. Well, I do. That's why I'm careful about how I approach situations. I do. And so now what's happening is people getting their karma, right? You think, you come to America and you want to be white. I mean, let's just put it out there. You want to be white. You think you light, bright, almost white, and you think that you got that gives you carte blanche to do a lot of stuff, right? To come at black people sideways. Plus, you come from the terrible way you treat Afro-Latinos in your countries. And they haven't been enforcing the law here in places like Los Angeles, and so they think they got a pass. Well, now, here we go, into the, over the Rubicon, as they say, right? We have crossed the Rubicon. And there's no turning back. There's no turning back. Ain't no stopping this, right? In a lot of cases, people have earned this ass whipping, and ain't no stopping it. I wouldn't stop it if I could, after what people have done to me. I've been waiting 30 years for this, 20, 30 years for this, right? And so, yeah, I look forward to them, doing their thing. And the people want to push back and fight back. They said, we're going to fight back. We're going to fight back against this. Good. That's even better. That's going to give me more satisfaction as I watch this whole situation. Good. I hope they do. I really hope they do. Right? So, anyway, I ain't gonna make this too long. But yeah, this whole thing it's just karma, And people learn the hard way. It's something something I realized. You can't keep talking to people. Like black people trying to talk to Mexicans and other Hispanics and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, talk to them about racism from white people is a waste of time. This is much better. This is an adult education for them, as Hall and Oates said. You need an adult education, right? Adult education. So now Donald Trump is going to give these Cubans and these Puerto Ricans and these Dominicans or whoever, right? Whoever, Mexican, he's going to give you an adult education. He's going to give you an education on how things really work, as opposed to your perception of how shit works. Which, me telling you about that wouldn't help. You done had Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the Civil Rights Movement, books, movies, documentaries, none of that helps. But when somebody put foot to your ass, that's your wake-up call. So it's important that people go through this. You see, black people had to go through, they talking about, oh, black people, they're gonna get you next. We was first, from Africa to America, to the slave ships, to the Middle Passage. The shit that you don't even, like, it shows the ignorance of these people. When they say you're gonna be next, but we was first and you didn't know that, it shows that you are a waste of fucking time. There's no use in talking to you. Send in ICE. Let ICE talk to him. God is about to talk to you. It's called karma. Right? It's called karma. And any black people, let me say this in closing. Any black people that get involved in between them and God, in between them and their karma, you deserve what you get. I hope you get it with both, both barrels. You deserve from the karmically speaking, right? Any of y'all Negroes that get in this, any of you ninjas that get in this and get involved, you deserve what you get. You get stomped out by the police, tear gassed, right? Whatever. Locked up. You deserve what you get. You should have fucking knew better. So, anyway, all I gotta say to this is enjoy your karma, enjoy your adult education. And when it's all over with, and this is gonna end badly, I'm almost certain of it. Like, it's gonna go all the way, as it should. Y'all gonna really understand. The ones that get to watch it. It's like watching Sodom and Gomorrah burn, right? Y'all gonna really, the ones that get to watch this, you're gonna get a real education that survive. Because it's not, the ICE and all this shit is the beginning of sorrows. The beginning of Jacob's trouble. This is not, well, at least hopefully, right? This is what I think it is. And so, if it's what I think it is, it's gonna take a little while to roll out, but the whole thing gonna roll out. They're gonna spark, a civil war. And then y'all gonna get a full understanding of what it is, of what this whole thing is. And, you know what I mean? Because you got to read the whole book. Y'all ain't even read the first chapter. You gotta read the whole book. Dig it? This time, all of y'all got to read the whole entire book from cover to cover. Not just the first chapter. And y'all ain't even read the first chapter yet. So, yeah, it's time, it's time for y'all to get a full entire education on America, on reality, on karma, on God. And I'm sorry I had to come to this, but it's out of my hands, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is above my pay grade. And a lot of y'all asked for this. Y'all been begging for this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all been fucking begging for it. For years, you've been begging for it like I dare you. Like now, they telling them, a lot of these illegals and these anchor babies, they telling the government, I dare you to do something to me. I don't care if I don't got no paperwork. All right, it is what it is, right? Let's let this shit play out. Anyway, that's all I got. See y'all in the next one. Stay safe out there.